Hello, friends. I am Yolanda Harper. I'm co-founder of Harper Therapy. We have a great conversation today. I'm so excited because I have Carol and Alice Yoder here from Alice's Macarons and More. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my goodness. So I got to meet Carol. Gosh, it's
probably a year.
Almost a year ago. Yeah. And she shared with such passion about the macarons that she and Alice make together. Started as a project. So tell us the story, ladies, about how this got started.
You want me to start?
I can start.
Okay, Alice is going to share with us.
I'll
There you
hear
go.
what you have to say. Go ahead.
So, basically, we've always just had this long-term goal to have a business, like a bakery. And I was going to get a business degree in college and just get a business degree, and
So that we could run a business. She will do all the paperwork and business.
She is the, wow, what a plan. And your mom would do all the baking? So
Well,
you do
I
the
would help.
Oh, you would help. Okay. So,
then we were on a family trip in Georgia, and we visited a local macaron chain. I'm not going to mention the name.
Sure, that's okay.
But we tried macarons and thought these would be great, and they were okay. But I've always enjoyed a challenge, and
that's where this comes. Okay, that makes so much
Yes.
sense. Okay,
And so I thought, I bet I could do better. And so we started looking at macaron recipes and started figuring out how you have to make macarons, and it took months and months and months.
And
We did research. We watched the British baking show. But so now we joke about how many macarons ended up in the bin.
Well, and can you share, because these ladies brought some examples, some samples.
So we worked
They're
hard.
so beautiful. Look at these
macarons.
macarons.
We feel like we've come pretty close to perfecting our
I would
product,
agree, having sampled plenty of your fare. Yes, I totally agree. And share with everyone, because this is not an easy recipe.
No, it's not. The funny thing about macarons, and we've had lots of people come and tell us, I've tried to make those. Yeah. And the funny thing about macarons is that they can fail at many, many, many steps during the process, but you don't know until you bake them.
Oh.
And so you go through
you've got a lot of
work.
Invested time and energy.
You go through a lot of work, and
this is a face that has baked a lot of macarons that have ended up in the bin, like you said. Yeah.
But I can't remember the last time we threw any away now. We've been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So lots of, it's a journey. So if you ever want to try macarons, it's a journey. It is
a long journey.
A very long journey. Or you could leave it to the experts and enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Right.
Yeah. So what flavors do you have here?
Well, and so that's something we feel is a little special about us.
I agree, because you have how many flavors?
Well, on paper, we have over 150 flavors. And we work really hard at getting the depth of the flavor. Lot.
This is so accurate. I'm just going to say, when you have one of their macarons, you're like, how is the flavor? It's like a depth. I don't even know how to describe it other than like the depth of the flavor.
Right. And one of the ways we do that, or a couple of ways. Well, many people, when they make macarons, they
don't flavor the shell.
They don't flavor the shell. They just
clearly this is a mistake.
They flavor the fillings. Well, the problem is when you add anything to your shell, it could fail.
Right.
It changes the consistency, and so it's very hard to add some flavorings to the shell, especially if you want natural flavorings. So we do use some of the artificial flavorings too, but we try as much as possible to add real fruit and other things, right? But I brought some of our favorites. This one is a bestseller. This is
so beautiful.
Unicorn Fancy.
Yeah.
And talk about depth of flavor. So this one has a combination of cake batter and cotton candy and raspberry and something else I can't remember. So secret recipe.
How is this born? I mean, did the two of you kind of think if we were to make a unicorn?
Kind of. Well, one thing that we were thinking was we don't really have a lot of kid-friendly flavors.
Okay.
And I mean, like sometimes kids will just walk by and see the unicorn and they're like, I want that one just because of the way it looks.
Because it's so beautiful.
And so Mom posted a question, what does unicorn taste like?
Oh,
so
genius.
So we got some good feedback and kind of took all the answers and combined them and took some of our favorite colors and got unicorn fancy.
Yeah. Okay. And so what other flavors do you have?
Well,
there?
another kid-friendly flavor we have is cotton candy. We just made that just a fun, subtle cotton candy flavor. Now, I also like to make unique flavors. And we have flavors like black licorice and buttered popcorn. This is one of my personal favorites. It's cinnamon red hot. It's just like the red hot candy.
Just like the red hot
candy. Is.
Like,
Are you excited about this one?
I actually don't really like
You
it.
don't care for that one.
But
That's okay.
have you ever walked in like Publix during Halloween time and smelled those cinnamon sticks? That's literally what it tastes like.
That's literally what it tastes like.
With a little spice.
With a little spice, a little kick.
But they taste better than the cinnamon brooms.
Well, yes. That's good. That's good.
Another really popular one is, I didn't think it would be, but coconut lime. We use lots of coconut in the shell and the filling.
Yes.
And lime zest, and really popular. It's coconut lime. And
surprisingly popular because you were not expecting that.
Yeah, coconut lime. But then that one came about because of the song.
Okay.
You put the lime in the coconut.
There you go. So inspiration can come from anywhere.
Inspiration comes from anywhere.
So tell me about I don't know how new it is, but the Fluffernutter. Because so Carol and I have been having conversations like, can you come? And then I saw there's Fluffernutter, and I said, oh, by the way, please bring a dozen Fluffernutter.
This is a newer flavor. I think we just decided we needed one. I can't remember where this one came from.
It's marshmallow peanut butter.
What do you say, Alice, to the people who do not know what Fluffernutter flavor is?
I'd say maybe something like it's peanut butter marshmallow, and we also have a few other peanut butter flavors.
But there's something special about the peanut butter and marshmallow.
Something special.
You can't go wrong with peanut butter and marshmallow, is what I'm saying.
And this one I actually left. This is how we sell them in our markets, and that's something that is important to us also because we actually seal them the day they're made and then freeze them until we're ready to sell them, so they are as fresh as they can be once they're made. The one thing that we try to warn people is that this plastic does
hard
rip.
to open.
So we brought scissors so we can let Yolanda.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I will be happy to open the Fluffernutter and even thank you. Look at this. So I'm going to be rude and eat on live TV. And while I do this, while I take my bite, can each of you share in this moment what your favorite flavor is? In this moment, I know it's a challenging question, but look.
And I'm going to watch Yolanda while you take a bite. You think about your favorite flavor.
This is one of my favorite things of all time is Fluffernutter flavor.
You know which one?
Yeah. Do you hear the crunch?
See, it's crunchy and chewy. And
but it just melts in your mouth. So full disclosure, we have these are like a special treat. We've gotten them for graduation parties, for our team's holiday party. So I interrupted. What are your favorite flavors?
So I think I'd say my 3 favorite flavors
are
top
3
out of over 150. Are double chocolate mousse. We have that one here. And chocolate peanut butter cup.
Yeah, peanut butter cup.
Like a Reese's Pieces, right?
Yes.
And dark chocolate orange.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Dark
that
chocolate.
one's
See,
surprising. There you go.
you have so many favorites. I never know. And it's so
But there's
funny.
a chocolate theme.
Yes. The dark chocolate orange, we use the orange zest, and we use a 72% dark chocolate. So it's very rich. It's like those chocolate oranges you get at Christmas. Sometimes the chocolate ones, we'll use the dark chocolate or the milk chocolate, but we use the real chocolate ganache. And our fillings are generally an Italian buttercream or a Swiss custard or the chocolate ganache. So we make sure our fillings complement the cookie.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
And for you, Carol, what are your top
top
three? We'll give you top three.
I know. I was thinking about it. It's so hard.
I know.
I'm kind of funny. It changes with the seasons,
Sure.
and this is how I am with candy and sweets anyway. I have seasonal favorites.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites is candy corn,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just because it has the orange and the yellow and the white, but we actually put candy corn in the filling. It's melted candy corn with candy corn pieces. So if you like candy corn, that's the way to go.
What else?
What's the Harry Potter flower?
Butterbeer.
Oh yes, we did see the
we
butterbeer.
do have a butterbeer,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had people that have been to Universal that have given us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. They approve of the butterbeer.
So I think butterbeer's a go.
Okay.
One of my favorites is the Earl Grey tea latte, and that's got actual Earl Grey tea in the shell and the vanilla cream. Coconut cream pie is super good.
Listen to us.
I know. I could keep going, but those are off the top of my head.
So I love the thoughtfulness, because in even the first time that we met, hearing you, I didn't know the difference between macarons and macaroons, and there's a very big difference. Look it up, people. Look it up.
Yeah.
And just, I think someone asked you the question, what's the difference between a French and Danish or Swedish?
Swiss and Italian.
Oh, Swiss and Italian.
Right.
Okay.
So
Swiss and Italian.
French, Swiss, and Italian.
So macarons, the basic recipe is egg whites, powdered sugar, granulated sugar, and almond flour. There you go.
So they're gluten free, which is
the majority are gluten free.
Yes.
We put gluten in our cookies and cream.
Well, sure. There are some of the flavors that you have to. Yeah.
But they taste like they do have gluten though, so
they're just really good cookies.
Yeah.
So the egg whites need to be made into a meringue. When you whip the egg whites, then you have that fluffy egg white. And there are 3 ways to whip that meringue. And the more traditional method that most people know is the French method. But the egg whites are not cooked at all. It's I guess I say it's more fragile. Okay. And just because the egg whites are whipped and then you add your ingredients, and it can be done. But macarons do not like humidity.
Right.
And
Florida's a little humid.
Florida's
just
a little humid. I know. And so we started with French macarons when we were learning how to make them, and we failed. And so I started doing research, and I learned about Italian method meringues, and then Swiss. And so we finally settled on the Swiss method. And so ours have, it sounds terrible to say a cookie is durable, but our shell is a little more durable for our humidity, but yet it still has that nice little crunch, and it still has that chewy inside texture that you expect. And so you get a really fun blend of textures and flavors. And Alice is about ready to get in
fine.
Here. She's going to go.
I think that she deserves to have
double chocolate mousse.
So what I love about this is the fact that the two of you are doing this together. And I mean, what insight and vision you have, Alice, to know that you wanted to run a business with your mom and that you would take care of the business side of things. And even this conversation about failure, because each one of those learning experiences is what kind of brought you to have these beautiful creations that you have, and the creativity that the two of you bring to, is your brain just always thinking of new flavors?
We try to put a stop to it, but we just keep thinking.
We'll be driving in the car.
Yeah.
And I'll say to her, what do you think of this and this.
Right.
And I'll say, okay, get out your notebook. And she'll get out a notebook.
Right.
And she'll write down
Make
the
notes.
recipe while I'm telling it to her.
There you go.
And then she'll say, well, what about this or that? And
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about recipes. I know there was one in the car that we did. We did a caramel delight, kind of like the Girl Scout Samoa's cookie. That was one we did in the car.
That's my
So-
favorite.
No,
Yeah.
she's got another favorite.
Okay.
And so I think, Alice is 10,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's learning patience and perseverance.
Absolute resiliency and grit and like all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
She get
You got your drink if you need to swallow, right? But and that's something that I think, just talking with Alice about her peers and friends, and it's something that we think a lot of kids need to learn.
Sure.
And Alice will
I
admit,
think a lot of adults need to
That's
learn
true,
too. I
actually.
mean, all of us could benefit from.
yeah. And I know we talk about there are times when I get impatient
Mm-hmm.
and times when Alice gets impatient, and then we usually figure out that it doesn't usually work well.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's the time to kind of take a step back.
Right, and there are days when early on we said, okay, I'm not going to make macarons today.
Mhm.
We're going to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but sure enough, I'll be thinking about it,
Mhm.
and we'll say, well, what if we tried this? And what if, and so I think seeing that process of trying something, stepping back,
Mhm.
reevaluating, kind of is that scientific method,
Right.
in
And the creative spark too. Yeah, it allows for that. So you guys have a little tidbit of information about something unique about the two of you, in addition to the fact that you run this really fantastic macaron business together.
I didn't tell Alice what I
Oh,
wrote
okay.
down.
Okay.
So
Well, surprise!
did you see it on there? What did we
Yeah.
do? Yes. So that was something.
So they
the
are
tidbit-
actually, yeah.
So the tidbit of information that you'll see later on the blog is that we both train in Korean martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
and it was something years ago when Alice was born.
Mhm.
My husband and I were actually running a karate school.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's how it started.
Yes. Oh, so Alice wants me to make sure I share. Even when I was pregnant,
Uh-huh.
Alice was practicing her kick.
Yes, from the womb.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
see how that would.
I
Yes.
think being in the environment, she heard all the other kids,
Mhm.
and
She was like, I can't wait.
So she grew up in a karate school when she was a
Mhm.
baby,
Mhm.
so I had already been training for a while.
Mhm.
So I actually have a 3rd degree black belt.
Mm-hmm.
And Alice started training not too long ago, and we had to take some time off. We moved and that kind of thing. But we are back in,
Awesome.
and Alice is a yellow belt now.
Congratulations.
And,
Look at you.
And I'm catching up on some new material at a new school.
Cool.
But
So not only do you run a really fantastic macaron company, but you're also highly skilled.
yeah,
in
maybe
martial arts.
even a little dangerous.
Maybe even a lot dangerous.
Don't don't get too close to the crazy macaron lady.
That's why I put Alice in front.
between.
She's less intimidating.
She's cute with
Customers-
her hat on.
Customers love talking with
Yeah.
Alice, and Alice knows really everything about them. I'm in the background just kind of refilling things, and she's telling them everything they want to know about the macarons. So, so Alice we call her the macaron apprentice
yes,
because of so much involved in getting them baked. There's a lot to really practice. It's more
So,
practice.
yeah, I actually bake most of the other sweets, like
Yeah, 'cause
brownies
it is-
and cookies
yes.
and caramel.
yes, because it's macarons and more. Yes,
So
so
I-
that's the more piece.
And macaroons.
And she does
And
the coconut.
macaroons.
She does
Okay,
the coconut
okay.
macaroons.
That's the difference, people.
Mhm.
Macaroons are coconut.
They're those coconut. They're
Mhm.
like
They're
mounds.
lovely.
Yeah,
they're lovely, but they're not the same.
They're
as
mounds of
macarons.
coconut dipped in chocolate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
And then she makes our secret recipe brownies,
Mhm.
our big fat chewy chocolate chip
Mhm,
cookies,
mhm.
and our lemon crackle cookies.
So now that we have everyone's mouth watering with these beautiful macarons and conversations about them more,
Mhm.
we have your information on how people can connect with you on Facebook and Instagram and via email and phone and text.
Mhm.
And people can find you kind of in the community at various markets and stuff, right?
Yes.
So what's your next event?
So actually, we have a regular market at the Ybor City Saturday Market.
Fantastic.
And so we are there on the first and third Saturdays of the month. Definitely through June. We're booked through June there.
Cool.
And so they are open from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And so we'll be there tomorrow. Actually, we have another date there.
We get there early because they sell out.
We do run out of popular flavors quickly, yes.
Like one of the favorites is pistachio, and I will say that at the end of the day, we don't usually have that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you'll be sad if you miss out on the pistachio.
Pistachio is very popular.
Yeah. And then you do also take special orders for events.
Absolutely, we do. I just got an order for a baby shower, and so we are doing 4 dozen different blue macarons.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Yeah, and so we do a lot of different events. We can swap out colors if you want a purple colored peach macaron, we can do it. So we can mix flavors and colors.
And I will tell you from experience that these beautiful, delightful treats are the highlight of parties and events, and they people are still talking about the macarons. So,
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
We met early on, and Yolanda had, was it a birthday party, I think?
It was a graduation.
Graduation.
Our daughter graduated. Yeah.
Right, that was it. And that's I think I put in the blog, one of our favorite things is when you have people that have never tried our macarons.
Right.
They take a bite, and it never fails. They'll be walking away, taking a bite. They usually turn around, look back, and go,
U-turn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They're like,
and one guy tasted a macaron, and he went back to buy 3 more.
Yeah. He tasted one, went back. We had just recently a gentleman bought some for his girlfriend or somebody. They came back later that afternoon because she had to buy some more.
I'm sure.
So,
we got to stock up.
Yeah. So we and that's something too. We're at markets. If you're going to be there, you can buy them. We put them in the cooler. We'll hold them for you.
Yeah. Perfect.
So,
and they do last. I mean, you can take them home.
Yep.
Put them in the freezer if you're not going to eat them right away, and just kind of pull.
Absolutely.
For your freezer stash.
Absolutely.
Well, Carol and Alice, thank you both so much for joining us today and sharing your beautiful macarons with us. And you got a fan here, and all of us here at Harper Therapy are fans. So, all right, well, go and check out Alice's Macarons and More on Facebook and Instagram. Go check them out at the Ybor Market tomorrow and the first and third Saturdays. And they can follow where you'll be on social media.
Right. We do post our events on the Facebook page. Okay. And so as they come out, I know we'll be at the Grove coming up.
Great.
At Wesley Chapel. So we try to move around a little bit.
Perfect. All right, guys, check them out.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.